Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Samara from CoachingConsciousCreators.com, and today I want to talk about the 5 steps to successful manifesting. So for those of you who are familiar with the natural laws, you know that the number 1 law is that all is mental, right? So when it comes to manifesting, any technique that you use is to get your mental state such that you can bring into your life the things that you want. That is always the end goal. What does that mean? If you watch my 5D videos, it means getting beyond the 3D, the physical, and the 4D time into a state where you can control which timeline you're on and what events are on your particular timeline. So today I want to talk about my personal 5-step process. This is what works for me. Different people have different steps that they use or different ways that they get themselves into the right mental state, but this is my method. So the first step is to get into a state of pure awareness, meaning exit the 3D and 4D and go into the 5D. How do you do that? Through meditation, hypnosis, anything that makes you forget the physical and forget time. So that can be really varied. I'm in the process of writing an ebook with all the different tools that I use to get into that state and all the different tools that I use for each of these 5 steps. So I will be sure to announce that and even link it below as soon as it's done for those of you who are watching this video way in the future. So you'll have access to that. But that's the first step, getting beyond the 3D and 4D, getting into that state of pure awareness just for the sake of being there, just existing there, just floating there, knowing that you are all things, that you are all people, that you are all resources, which means you have access to all things, all people, and all resources. That's step 1. Step 2 is once you're there and you realize that you have access to everything, creating the vision of what it is that you want. So there's several tools to do this too. It's important, number 1, to be very detailed, and number 2, and they're equally important, not that this is less important than number 1, but to experience the thing you want to bring into your life in the first person. Meaning you're not looking at yourself do something. You are like, one thing that Joseph Ally, one of my favorite people to watch, talks about is how when he's entering into a vision, an imagined act, something that he wants to bring into his life, he'll first imagine looking down at his own hand. So that kind of solidifies him being there in the first person. So going in the first person and actually experiencing the thing that you are trying to bring into your 3D and 4D reality is the next step. That's step 2, solidify the vision. Step 3, after you've created this vision and you know that it's on its way, is to get into a state of allowing. What does that mean? That means getting to a state of flow, like prioritizing feeling good and feeling happy and feeling expectant. And there's a good reason for this, which will take us into step 4. It's because if you get out of flow, or if you stay out of flow too long, you can actually create an opposing experience. You can actually put yourself on a different timeline than the one you just created. So allowing, being expectant, being sure, having complete faith that your vision is on its way, that you've placed it on your timeline, and now all you have to do is meet up with it, is step 3. Step 4. So as much as we try to stay positive and stay in flow and stay expectant, we still do live in the 4D, 3D, 2D, and 1D. So we're going to come up against things that don't line up. We're going to come up against resistance. We're going to come up against negative feelings, experiences, emotions. So step 4 is digging up the weeds, basically. If you think about manifesting like you've planted a seed, and in that seed is everything that needs to happen in order for your desire to come about. Well, if you have a real garden and you plant, or a 3D garden, and you plant a seed, weeds are going to come, because weeds want to, they need sunlight, water, soil. They need all the good stuff that seed that you planted needs as well. And so you have to go and pull up those weeds so that they don't suck up all of the nutrients and resources that you provided for that good seed that's going to bring you good food or fruit or flowers or whatever it is that you've planted it for. So step 4 is weeding, pulling up the negative thoughts and beliefs. And there's so many ways to do that. I think that is the step where I have the most tools, because it's something that we deal with as human beings so much. And it's not a bad thing. It's just part of our experience. And actually manifesting would be super boring without resistance and without coming up against things that oppose what you're trying to bring about. So some of the tools for weeding or pulling up that resistance, as it's inevitably going to come, are EFT, the tapping method, to pull up things that are buried deep in your subconscious, or therapy or even hypnosis can be used for that too. So hypnosis can be used to take you into a pure state of awareness, or once you're there, it can be used to remove those weeds, those underlying fears, beliefs, things that are stopping you from allowing what you want into your life. So that's step 4. Step 5 is practice. So this is something I didn't think about before I got into manifesting my reality or creating my reality. And that is imagining things in a way that creates a successful bringing about. Takes practice. It's a muscle that you have to build. You have to build up your imagination. You have to build up your ability to move into a state of awareness. You have to build up all these skills. So there's all kinds of little exercises that you can do that will help you develop a stronger imagination, develop a stronger ability to manifest, to create the imaginal acts, to do all the things necessary to bring about the manifestation. And there's a ton of tools for that. Like, one tool is to try and sorry, there's people driving crazy in front of me. One tool is to manifest really small things. Like, you can just decide on something arbitrary, and you can use that manifestation as practice. Something that you don't really care if you get or not is a good way to build up your manifesting ability. So you can say, I want to manifest a strawberry today. Like, I want somebody to hand me a strawberry. And then you go through all the steps and you wait and you see how long it takes. You see, you monitor how you were feeling. You monitor the experiences you had during the day. And you use it as kind of a gauge to figure out how to perfect your personal manifestation process. Again, I want to stress, you can take things that I'm saying to start to build up your own personal effective way of manifesting things into your life. This is just my 5-step process. So to reiterate, step 1 is to get into a state of pure awareness. This is where you're just turning everything off in the 3D and 4D, turning off your physical body, turning off time, and you're just existing in the present moment. You're not thinking about anything. If you do think about something, you're detached from it. That's step 1. Step 2 is creating a vision or planting the seed of what it is you want to bring about. So this involves getting very detailed, experiencing the thing from the first person. The third step is to try to stay in a state of allowing, meaning you make your priority to keep your vibration high, to keep your spirits high. This doesn't mean stay positive all the time. What this means is having complete faith that what you've created is on its way and not doing anything to create a conflicting timeline or a conflicting event. Number 4 is removing all of your mental and emotional limitations. This is pulling the weeds, coming up against resistance, removing it so that you can get back into that state of allowing. And number 5 is strengthening your imagining skills so that the next time you go through the iteration, you're even better at the process. So these are the 5 steps that I use to have great success manifesting. If I am lazy about any of these steps, it shows up. It doesn't necessarily mean that I don't manifest what I want. It just means that I may experience some things that I don't want in addition to the thing that I do want. So I hope this was really helpful for you guys. Again, if you're interested in filling out an assessment, learning more about what I do, my website is coachingconsciouscreators.com. I also have an Instagram by the same name. So thank you guys for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.